Hi guys, YVSL here, and I would like to talk about the Final Fantasy VII Part 3. I want the part to start off seeing smoke over the hills. Uh, Cloud points it out, thinking of Aerith. Tell Cid someone might need your attention. Uh, saying, or Cid saying, uh, saying, "Don't worry, I saw it. I'm on it, boss." The party lands in Wutai, gets into a battle, but quickly notices something's off. They can't use magic other than cure. Barrett goes off and saying, "You dirty double crosser!" Kate says, saying, "I didn't do it. What would I need with your stuff?" Then Barrett says, "Not you, the one who isn't in the fight." Cloud said, "Yuffie." Then yells, "Why did you do it?" Yuffie starts singing, "No, I don't know why y'all think it was me, because all my things was taken too, and not just my material, all my weapons too. And I think I know who did, but you'll just have to wait and see." Barrett says, "Yeah, whatever. If not you, then who?" "There's one ninja in Wutai who can out ninja me, and that would be my brother / or sister, depending on what Square Enix decides. I'm sure all of the best stuff won't be returned when we get there, because they would have sold off right away. Only low-level stuff will be returned," she said. And she might be right. Only like fire, ice, lightning, wind, and maybe enemy skill at the most will be returned. How it more likely will start. Zack will be in Sector 5 church, Sector 5's church, saying out loud, says out loud, "Oh, I better go see Elmira." Get there. She gets there. She says, "I'm sorry, guy, I never met you." And says, "Why is it that my daughter of mine always attracted to soldier?" Zack is confused, saying, "You don't know, or you don't remember me. I helped you take care of Aerith and Cloud." She says, "You." So she says, what'd she say? She said, You got your head in the clouds?" And Cloud went to go save Aerith from Shinra. As for Biggs, haven't seen him in a few months. But hey, dinner is almost ready. Marlene comes down and says, Who are you? Wait, I know you. When I go to sleep, we would talk. And you don't have good table manners. And the scary man, he did something bad to Aerith." Leaves it up for Square to say. Could go many ways. The party stops in Rocket Town on the way to the north. Cid says, need diesel for the old bird. Either way, no matter where you have intel to do. Yes, Chadley will have the fights again. Many from the other games grade out, but are much lower level than the start, so you can always get easy items that are rare right off. So, need to switch. And then Such poor form. You don't belong here. Ah, you come to me again. You deny her loving embrace. Let me be your homecoming. I'd love to see you try, my child, but you already failed once, and yet here I stand before you. Ah, but I know how to erase you from existence permanently. You don't belong in my world. Shh, shh. Ah, yes, Lee. They'll be singing your praises. Shh, 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 shh. All you have to do is tell them it was I, Sephiroth, who killed the planetologist. What? Oh, I'm not supposed to read that one. Do you? You said it was all a blur. You couldn't remember. Do you know why you can't remember? It was I who did that. The reason you don't know is because I rewrote your memory. Rewrote your mind. I came in and cut him down. Then I let you think it was you. It was all to meet my own needs, to fill the world with sorrow. Oh, on the contrary, you didn't stop me as far as anyone else is concerned. You could be an accessory to the very murder that you thought you did. Innocent, yet did nothing. Poor remnant. In the end, you was just a puppet. Just like the creator of this video, I came in control of. Okay. But that's odd. Wait, was I under a jack attack? And you say Sephiroth admitted to killing the planetologist? Hey, we're back. Yay. So Sephiroth admitted to killing the planetologist. What? Well, that's good news for Final Fan TV. Well, Lee and the Warriors of Hype, I should say. Let's go. Lee is innocent. Hype of 99,999, of course. Yes. Go tune into the Warriors of Hype on YouTube if you want all things hype times 9,999 for all things Final Fantasy. But battles same as Rebirth. Battles are same as Rebirth, but little difference with Sid, the Dragoon King. There's Lee again. Oh, Wily's cool too. But okay, I'm done talking about Final Fan TV, the Warriors of Hype. But seriously, Sid is his jumping attacks and overworld abilities. What could it be? Maybe you fix up robots or other machines for getting through the areas, broken gates, broken electric elevators, and limit breaks. Well, could be tied to upgrades to the high wind, of course. One or more items needed, or in the Sunken Galnica, sure, because in OG that's where you get it originally, so why not? Vincent, another controllable character to fight with his gun, play similar to Barrett's, with some Dirge Cerberus. Jump in the air for the best aerial combat yet. Mid-air jumps, shooting from one enemy to another, maybe jumping off their heads. In his limit breaks. Once transformed, you're stuck in that form until you build up your refocus gauge. And in level 1 limits, I can talk. They cannot be controlled Also, you could attack your teammates by accident because blind rage, kind of uncontrollable. Then 2 gives you a little more control, but it's a roll of the dice. Still could hit one of your team. 3 has control for the most part, but might do something else instead. And final, you get from the cave where Lucrezia is, and you can use all of Vincent's plus chaos attacks too. Kaseth is the same as before, but more dice attacks, including his final limit break, that is the dice that is equal to your level, but by 10. So 30 to 39 you get 3 dice, 40 to 49 you get 4 dice, up to level 100 where you get 10 dice. So his limit break in OG, also his slot limit break plays a roll 2, and he says cheeky lines like, "Sorry guys, looks like it's a game over," or "It's our lucky day, boys. The monsters are all gone now." And even lucky 21 limit break. Yes, that's right, blackjack. Limit breaks I said about Vincent and Sid, but Kaseth will be gotten from Gold Saucer, 1 from Reeves. Oops, that's a secret. I think the family he gets taken in by is the up and coming, you guessed it, the Shinra manager. Reeves too gets invited to be a family member too, because why not? Tifa gets hers from Jules, I bet. Cloud endgame final battle auto lock. Barrett gets his from North Corral. Red gets his from Bugenhagen. Yuffie from the Tower of the Pagoda. Pagoda. I don't know how to say that, but yes, in Wutai. Zack and Reeves will have playable parts, but Zack will be a team member for half. Just not sure when and where and when to win. So we go from Rocket Town to get to Great Glacier and climb we all know and hate Keep Worm, guys. Keep Worm. Lost my spot because I had to check my monitor. Keep Worm, guys. Keep Worm. After that, we lose Cloud, but instead of getting kidnapped, we chase down Rufus to Junon. We all get the great slap life between Tifa, Yuffie, and Scarlet. There will be a will there be a gas chamber? Well, maybe not for Tifa, anyways. Yuffie would be too easy unless it drains her magic. A mini game to hit the switch just seems too easy, but that plus figuring out a code could do, or who knows? Maybe nothing. Maybe the whole team. I don't know. I haven't figured that out. But in Junon is where we meet with Zack finally. At least in my mind, anyway. So that just makes sense. From there we get the high wind, but unlike if you don't just run to the middle. Well, we don't just run to Midil. I misspelled that. No wonder I said that wrong. We go back to Gungaga because Tifa remembers that Eris said his parents miss him, so he runs into Cisne, and that's a can of worms, but not bad. His mom and dad hugs him. Cisne said, if you're looking for things to get washed away, here is one such place, but need to look elsewhere to find. Look elsewhere. Where you find Cloud's Buster Sword is at the base of the waterfall near the pier. That's the one place where the monster intel was. After that, after you get the sword, everyone's like, well, where's Cloud? All we see is his sword. right? It says we should go see Grandpa. Once there, Bugenhagen says, why not go to Medill, lax away from it all? Plus, there is a spring there where the life stream comes up. It's unstable with all the earthquakes and all, so be careful. Then you go there, greeted by a different colored chocobo. Not gold. Not gold. But a different color, all the same. Acts crazy, and like a dog, headbutts you softly, as if to say it wants to show you something. A shopkeeper overhears the party's conversation and hears the name Tifa. You're the one I've been looking for at least a few days. The amount of days that Square Enix says in the game that happens between Northern Crater and Junon, I mean, I kind of left that up to interpretation. Maybe it's the 7 days like before. So he could say, like, I've been looking for you for the past 7 days, that kind of thing. Tifa says, what? That's odd. He says they found an unconscious man randomly saying Tifa softly. Tifa said, You think it's Cloud? If they find him all beaten up, the shopkeeper says, you need to find a doctor. So Barrett and Tifa both say, Dr. Sheeran? Old Doc Sheeran? The train mission happens here too, so if it's for the big, huge Gigantomateria, this is probably where it's going to happen. Or, maybe we just get Ultima. Maybe something else that kind of goes to that. But yeah, that's right. Dr. Sheeran finally gets the blood sample, I'm sure, that he's been looking for from Cloud. They find out that Cloud has such a bad case of Mako poisoning. So he says it will take days, saying he can even recover because it just doesn't make much sense. And the side quest pops up at this point. Areas are needed to be dealt with, like Fort Condor. Oh, did I mention the 7th Infantry is your Highwind crew? Well, that's because I wasn't trying to make the game, people. I'm just saying how it could go. But they help. They help because they're worried about the captain, of course, saying if it helps him, we're in. But only half, because the other half shows up later, or do they? Why not now? The crew of the Highwind says that there's trouble in the underwater reactor. So go there, get the sub, and at this point, after you get the sub, you can check out the Sunken Gallinica if you want. You can go to Wutai, but why am I saying you could go to Wutai instead of you do? Well, that's because it's just a side mission for right now, what's going on right there. So whatever happens at Wutai isn't really main focus. Right now it would just be like the Pagoda for Yuffie if you want. But only up till you get to the rocket mission. So now so the live stream scene happens now, and this time Zack is there to help too. Of course, now you get Cloud back. Yeah, I know. Having Zack there kind of takes away from Tifa's thing, or does it? Depending on how they work it in, because Zack could be the driving force to really help Tifa pull things through and figure out that Cloud was actually Mr. Infantry back there, who's just kind of in the background, trying to protect Tifa the entire time. Just saying. I know. What can you do? So now you go you go back. You get Cloud and go to Rocket Town. Go to space. Come back. War in Wutai is in full swing, and only accessible by the sub. So this means you can no longer really use the Highwind too much. You can go certain places, like you can go get your sub. You can get the Highwind. You might be able to work it to where you can use the tiny Bronco, but they're probably gonna do away with that. Like it just breaks down, or Sid just retires it. So yeah, there's a lot of missions now here in Wutai, and going on around the war-torn world. So that means more side quests are going on right now, and then finally, it's time after you do the Wutai missions. It is time to return to Midgar. Only by sub. You have to get there with the sub. You can't get there any other way. You can't get there with the Highwind, because you just can't. So yeah, you get landed with the sub, and the weapon appears. First time you actually get to fight a weapon, because unfortunately this time around the fight with Ultima Weapon and Medial is only really a cutscene. Yeah, might get a couple attacks off, you actually fighting, depending on how they decide to go with it. But it's not like the full out Machina type war where you fight the weapon. But here, you do fight Crystal Weapon. So after that, oh yeah, the reason why you got a Midgar at this point is because Reeves tells you there's, Reeves gets a hold of you and says we might want to return to Midgar, come to HQ. A lot is going on internally. So there's a civil war with Shinra now, which kind of makes sense. Shinra manager is getting a little too Shinra middle manager is getting too high in the ranks, and is actually trying to go against Rufus. So yeah, after you return to Midgar, might be a side mission or two in the slums. You meet up with Merle and some friends. This is the only time you really get to see those people. You find out that Elmira and Marlene have escaped Midgar because Reeves helped them escape. And then after you return to HQ, more stuff happens. Pretty sure that's when Reeves will tell you what happened with Eris and Marlene, because you went there to the house and say you weren't there, and you see Reeves, tells you what's going on, and then you fight Hojo. After that, you leave Midgar. Then this is it. Chatterley sends you a transmission. Tells you the story of the legendary Golden Chocobo and the Knights of the Round. This is where we finally get the Knights of the Round and our Golden Chocobo buddy. Now, how they do the rest of this is kind of hard to say. But, yeah, last bit of side quest too. So, last chance to get any side quest before the final dungeon. Where is it? Um, so yeah, a lot to do this time. Um, now, yes, I know about the Maiden of the Planet. This this game could touch upon that and could add some interesting details to what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe give some plot hole answers finally. Now, while Cloud's in the coma during that stretch of the game, at like what was it, like a third of the game, 2/3 of the game, half the game, something. I don't know. I mean, because I kind of left it up to interpretation. I mean, there might be a lot more that goes on, but yeah, I would say during the coma, you play Advent Children. It is playable, and all that happens. Way of making Advent Children canon without having to lead the story that direction. And in the final dungeon, you get, at some point you have a choice. Yeah. This is where you can get some of the final items needed for your limit breaks. So having the limit breaks, that is where, well, you won't have them yet, but you'll have all the things needed for them. And then after you beat the game in New Game Plus, all your limit breaks are now unlocked. So those who are still collecting items, if you missed any items, you can go back and get those items that you missed. But you will have your ultimate level 4 limit breaks in New Game Plus. Hard mode is still kind of a pain, but at least this time around they let up, and instead of no items at all, you have a limit. Like, you can have all the items you want, but say you're only allowed to use like maybe one mega mid elixir, maybe a couple high ethers, kind of help you with, with storing magic. Magic's gonna be easier with your limit, your weapon limits. The sword will finally be the fusion sword will be unlocked too at the end of the game, that you use during the fever dream that happens during your coma. Yeah, you will finally have the another ultimate weapon, the fusion blade. I mean, the ultimate weapon's the ultimate weapon first and foremost, but the fusion sword, where it's not as strong, will still have benefits, magical, so like, say the ultimate weapon is your straight up strength buffer. That is the one you use for strength. But the fusion sword now, maybe that's your magic ultimate weapon? So, given usefulness of both, do you want strong attacks like Comet 3, Ultima, Holy? Yes, you'll have Holy. But that too, you can only use Holy in New Game Plus. see what I did. So, yeah, I have a lot. I've tried recording this a few times, and I just couldn't think of the words to say. But now, like, that I kind of read off the script, it's just, like, a whole bunch just, like, started appearing more and more. Maybe it's because I'm focused. I don't know. But, hopefully this wasn't too much of a drag. Hopefully you guys found some interesting things in here. But yeah, I really, really love Final Fantasy VII. I wasn't the best. I have to admit, the only way I unlocked the trophies on PS4 for Yuffie's weapon, or Yuffie's soldier rank box achievement, the 2 top secret weapon achievements, and Wes was only able to be done with the God mode cheats. Unfortunately, I am sorry. I am not that good of a gamer. I mean, I play a lot, but when it comes to getting good, there's only a certain threshold I can get to, and limited magic. The fact that Wes hit like a truck, the fact that I couldn't do the boxing without unlimited spamming of the ATV. Yeah. But other than that, like, I mean, I played through hard mode in Remake. I mean, it took me 5 years, but I managed to actually beat Sephiroth without the cheats. That was a little before the cheats happened. But, yeah, I mean, I was stuck on those other 4 achievements for a long time. And then Rebirth, I was never able to beat Scarlet in Chapter 9. I was never able to beat Rude and Elena in Chapter 11. No, wait, that's Chapter 12. Chapter 11, I wasn't able to beat our man Roche. Chapter 13, I couldn't get past the dragon. And Chapter 14, well, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just not that great. Yeah, but as you've seen, the movie in the background was just kind of like background noise. I recorded like 15 minutes or so of gameplay just to kind of have something in the background for you. So, like the video if you like this, subscribe if you really did enjoy it. Be sure to tell your friends. If I get any more ideas, I'll probably post another video of this. Otherwise, I still have an Ocarina of Time video I want to put out there for the ever elusive Ocarina of Time remake, which would make me super happy because Ocarina of Time is my favorite Zelda game. Well, at least 3D Zelda game, and I want to say Seasons is my favorite 2D. Yes, I do like Link to the Past. So, no pitchforks, please. But I just, that one's not one of my tops. I do have plans for my top 10 favorite games of all time, but I just don't have an editor really to do that right now. I've got to save up a little money to do that. But yeah, with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Share with your friends, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cadius out.